welcome back to the 5 Reasons Sports pregame show for the Miami Heat. I'm not your usual host, Jonathan Ramlakan. Jonathan Ramlakan is dealing with some family issues right now, and we give our condolences to him because we love Ramlakan and we hope that he is well, obviously going through some things. He'll be back whenever he is ready to be back. But I am joined today by my two guys. We got from the Bahamas, Timmy. Timmy, how are we doing today? You are on mute.
I'm doing amazing. I almost did Ethan just now. Doing amazing. It's a new year. The Heat actually won their last game. Was they win? They lose? I don't even know. That's how good life is. I'm not even no longer affected
You don't even
by
know about the Heat.
The schedule of the Heat. But no, jokes aside, I'm happy that we're in a new year. I just feel good vibes coming for this team. I feel good energy, good vibes, Deadman might play this trip, but not tonight, and that's great news.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, glad to hear that, Timmy. And we also got Mr. Consistent, Matteo Mayorga. Matteo, how are you doing tonight?
Very good. Ended the year off well. Started it very well also. So thank you. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Listen, excited to watch some Heat basketball. I know a lot of people don't love these 10:30 p.m. tips, and honestly, I used to not like them as much, but for some reason, it is the most sicko basketball thing that you can possibly do is stay up and watch the entirety of a 10:30 p.m. Eastern time game all the way up until 1:15 in the morning, and then maybe we'll hop in the spaces with our good friends from Playbook Sports after the fact. So, it's some real sicko basketball hoop talk that's going to be going on today and throughout the hours of the evening. But nonetheless, I am excited to do so. So the last time that we saw the Miami Heat, obviously they won in a really, really fun game against the Utah Jazz. And we won with a Tyler Herro buzzer beater. You saw Bam play well. You saw Victor have one of his best games in a Heat uniform, in my opinion, which says a lot because he's had some pretty high highs in spurts in Miami. And Tyler Herro obviously showing up in the fourth quarter and showing up when the Heat needed him to get that bucket to win the game. So, Matteo, I'll start with you here. We've obviously touched on the fact that the Heat have been playing better basketball as of late. Do you think that shot against Utah in what is a tough place to play without your best player, Jimmy Butler, you think getting that shot and that win for the Heat going into the new year, could that kind of spark some sort of renaissance for the Heat where they go on a little bit of a run here despite the really tough schedule?
Perhaps it could. It was a big time shot. The Heat were hosed by a call on Haywood Highsmith prior to that sent Markin into the line for three, which was unfortunate, and then how the league defended the call. But a one-legged three-point jumper in a congested area on the floor in between the right wing and the top of the key is a very tough shot to pull off. And before he did that, he kind of froze Jordan Clarkson in the backcourt, getting him off of him, preventing the full court press. It was some very savvy basketball from Tyler Herro, like Ethan pointed out earlier, Dwayne Wade-esque. But this was a very solid game for the Miami Heat with encouraging signs. I give them a pass that they gave up over 120 points per game because their best player, Jimmy Butler, wasn't present. Their paint protection was excellent. They only gave up 32 points in the square. Their jobs contesting against three-point shots were not as good. The opponent shot over 40% on a very good high volume of shots. But you touched on it earlier, Gad. Bam was excellent, and so were Tyler and Vic. But speaking of each one of them, Bam, he hit a couple of mid-range shots, one at the elbow, one at the baseline. He was good in pick and roll with Tyler, Gabe, and Max. And there was one play where he caught the ball right at the nail, took one dribble, and finished inside. I thought that was beautiful. Defensively, he was as stellar as ever. I just harped on a lot about Tyler. That was a big-time shot. He's now probably making the case for the All-Star game, probably. But then there was Victor, someone who has been through so much, and then he had, I think, 23 points, 3 steals, did a very good job of staying in front of his man, intercepting the passing lanes, and then his vicious dunk over Walker Kessler that reminded me of the Black Panther of old, as Timmy likes to call him. There was some great signs in this game, and hopefully Tyler, started the year off right for them.
For sure. And we're also joined by Archie Mayorga, I believe, over here in the bottom left. See him trying to get in there. One of the cutest dogs on Heat Twitter. Just wanted to give him a shout out really quick.
Thank you.
Timmy, so Matteo kind of alluded to it. I wanted to ask you this question before we get into the actual game of today. Tyler Herro's balling out, right? Like, I think the last month that he played has arguably been the best month of his career. I don't have his exact numbers, but I saw them on Twitter earlier, and I think it's almost like 24, like 6-5 or something like that. Some
And
really,
even his
really
average is 21. Like
he's playing great. He's playing great basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So the Heat don't have the record component, and I know that's a really big thing, which could be a conversation for another day because I think it's a very overrated aspect of being an all-star. Is your team record halfway through the season? But I digress. Maybe not is Tyler Herro going to be an all-star, because I think that is almost an uphill battle by virtue of a bunch of different things around his situation right now. But do you think it's fair to say this season Tyler Herro has taken another leap into actually playing at an all-star caliber?
For sure. I mean, if you leave it to Twitter, he's trash, he's this, he's that, he's the next. But that boy is hooping. And I think even close to the splits, it was like 24, basically almost 25-5, which is, which used to be the calling card for the greats. Like you'd say Vince, Wade, T-Mac, Kobe, like those are the shooting guards that the 25-5, 3-level scorers. They could pass, they rebound, they might get a steal here, they might get a block here. Like Tyler, we used to like to say out and comparing the Spider, like he might not be as strong as quick, but Tyler's doing his own way. And he last at the end of the season, he used to get doubled, he used to get thrown off his balance. Now he has his quick triggers, he has counters. It's the East. We know there's the Trae Youngs, the Dejounte Murray's on the conference. Even though the Hawks suck, I actually think there's a chance because LaMelo will not have played enough games, and the Hornets also ultra suck. But again, now Spider in the conference, as I mentioned earlier. But I do think even if it's by replacement, Tyler deserves to be in that team. And I was saying, some of these Kentucky boys are the future of the Heat, and I'm happy to see them take it on the reins. I really love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's been fun to watch, honestly. And last year we kind of got a taste of it, but it seems like this year we're really getting to experience the hashtag La Familia, hashtag BBN type experience in Miami. Because listen, Tyler and Bam have pretty much shown you that they're the future. And we're going to see them again tonight against the team that I think Bam has done a really good job against over the last couple of years, just by virtue of the different types of defenses that they run. Playing against the Clippers. So, Timmy, I'm going to go back to you here. We know that the Clippers are one of the teams that they can run a bunch of different defensive coverages. I think Ty Lue's one of the most underrated coaches in the NBA. I think defensively, he does a really, really good job. Offensively, there are some question marks, but he kind of just lets his stars do what stars are supposed to do and let role players do what role players are supposed to do. So speaking on the Clippers defense, they don't have Kawhi tonight, but they're still a very good defensive team. What do you think we should expect from Miami to try to get going offensively against this Clippers defense that can switch, that can hedge, that can drop, that can just kind of play a little bit of zone? What do you think we should expect from the Heat offensively?
Definitely got to take advantage of that mid-range, for sure, because Zoo likes the drop back. But without Kawhi, we have some leeway, but you have PG, you have Batum, you have Morris. And that's like, I don't really fear the point guard position. Wall has lost a step. Reggie is better offensively than defensively, but definitely. And I like to say this game on the stream that Jimmy always plays great against after a day off, a few days off. So Jimmy's gonna be it's basically to see a duel of the. I don't know. Me and Brian used up this a lot. It used to be the debate of who was better, PG or Jimmy, and PG used to always get all the flash because of the fresh hairline, the dunks, and the hey, that lineup is ill, But Jimmy should be on every time. Jimmy usually gives Paul George business. I've yet to see in a while the Heat have just a great three-point shooting game, but the Heat usually, and I'd like to say maybe the last 3 years, he shoot really well from three against Clippers every year. Because as great defensively as they are, they do allow a bit of threes, and like the Heat prior to the season were a really good defensive 3-point shooting team. So I'm hoping maybe that seeing these guys and remember the Heat, like, hey, we know how to shoot. So a hot shooting game from this team will really open up because then they have to, rush to Duncan. Like when was the last time we've seen a defense, react to Duncan Robinson? So I just think they have to try to get their shooters going pretty early. And mix it up with the mid range because, like I said, Zubac drops and they don't really play a backup center. They play Batum at backup center. So if you can get Big Zoo in foul trouble or get him to think quick on those drops, good to go.
Yeah, listen, I love it. So it looks like it's going to be one of those nights where we're going to be shooting a lot of jumpers, which is totally fine by me. I would love for them to be able to get to the rim, but like my man Timmy was alluding to, Ivica Zubac does a really good job of just staying around the rim and making it harder for people to make shots there. It's not like he's some great rim protector, but he does his job well. And with the lengthy, Marco Romo likes to call them wing stop, and we can kind of agree with that.
Perfect name.
The Clippers just throw wings at you. They just throw wings at you. And speaking of all their wings and all that depth that they have outside of Kawhi Leonard, Matteo, I want to go to you here. Which one of the quote-unquote other guys, so not Paul George, which one of the other guys from the Clippers scares you? And I know Zubac might be an answer here, but if it isn't, I am very intrigued to see. Because there's one person I have in mind, but I don't know if anyone's going to point him out.
It's probably Terrence Mann, isn't it? Your guy? But okay, my guy is Ivica Zubac, but the reason for my guy being the center is because, like you mentioned, he's very active near the rim. He averages close to 4 offensive rebounds a game. Second chance points have been a problem, or containing second chance points from the rivals has been a problem at some points in the season for the Miami. He's a very big body in the lane. He is very strong and very mobile. So he would probably be my guy I'd be most concerned about. He's also a very good screener. He gets open right after the pick or direct runway to the cup. So definitely him if I can't pick Paul George. And did I guess correctly? Terrence Mann is your pick? Hello?
I think Luka Kennard is definitely going to be his pick.
Y'all see me?
I can see you, Matteo. Can you see me?
Yeah, Gad. I think we've lost Gad. So, okay, Timmy, taking over for Gadio Cartagena, who would be your sleeper pick for the Clippers? Maybe a random scrub heat killer, if you will.
Definitely Luka Kennard. Luka Kennard for sure. I remember when we used to compare him to Duncan Robinson, and it's like, and they get paid just about the same thing, but Luka actually mixes up his game other than he doesn't just shoot threes. Like he does those off-balance mid-range jumpers, those fadeaways. So Luka Kennard's my pick. I hope that wasn't Gad's pick, but I think it's Luka Kennard.
Can you guys hear me? I don't know what happened there. Matteo
goodbye.
started speaking foreign languages on my laptop, and then I knew I had to reload. So we had Zubac, Kennard.
Yes.
So Matteo, you know me at this point. It is Terrence Mann. I think Terrence Mann is one of the more underrated role players in the entire NBA. He's one of those players that can really make an impact defensively just by being active, length, and athleticism. And now offensively, I think he's one of the guys that's kind of coming into his own where he's comfortable actually creating a shot a little bit. He can play the catch and shoot role, but he can also drive a little bit. Kind of rounding his game out pretty well. I think the Clippers did a really good job developing him. So he's one of the players. I know he's starting for Kawhi tonight. He's one of the players that worries me a little bit. Also Zubac, because he is just everything that I feel gives the Heat problems on a night-to-night basis in the NBA during the regular season in one. Like he is that roller that's really smart, that big who's a little energetic, and that guy who can just dominate you on the boards and get a game where, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, he had like a 25 rebound game earlier this season or something like that, something absurd. There's moments where he looks like prime Kevin Love, and that kind of happens against the Heat. So before we get into today's game predictions, I know we're running a little bit long here. I want to talk about Prize Picks. So if you guys have not used Prize Picks, you 100% should get on the wave. It is one of the most fun ways to play prop games and honestly just win some money. It's really not that hard to do. You pick anywhere from 2, I believe up to 5, maybe 6 player props to play for the game. And you can make, I believe it's up to 10 times your money or something like maybe 25 times your money, depending on what types of plays you make. And if you're going to go ahead and play Prize Picks, you can go ahead and play tonight. Take the over on Bam everything if possible, and maybe take the over on Tyler Herro points. That right there, go ahead and use Prize Picks. Use the promo code 5FIVE, and there you go. They will match your deposit up to $100 and make life easy on you. Everyone loves free money. Go ahead and use that promo code FIVE and use it on Bam and Tyler tonight. So we have a game tonight against the Clippers. And the Heat can go, I believe, 2 games over 500 with this win. And honestly, it would be a really big win. Sweeping the Clippers, I think, is no small feat with or without Kawhi Leonard. They're a very well-coached team. I think they're a talented team. Their guard play kind of sucks, but that's besides the point. Matteo, what is your prediction for tonight's game?
Yeah, Timmy, I am going to go with a Heat W. With no Kawhi, I think this is going to impact when he switches up to the point of attack or when he's dropped back into the defense. The Los Angeles Clippers defense gives up 49 points in the paint. I think Bam Adebayo is going to have a great night attacking their front line. So with Jimmy playing, who's also available, I think Paul George is going to have to exert a lot of his energy defensively to bother Jimmy. He may be a little bothered on the offensive end, being their primary number one option. I'm going to go with a Heat win. They're going to start off the year right. Did you get that last point?
Listen, I think everybody would love to hear that. Love to see a win at basically 1:30 in the morning. Nothing. I think people who stay up for the game more. If people are going to stay up to watch the game, I think they want that 50% off on Papa John's, which the Heat gave us on January 1st by winning on December 31st. So we'll see if they're able to do it again tonight. I don't know if we have any other updates from the injury report. I know Kawhi was out.
Caleb is trying.
Caleb is trying to play.
He's trying.
Okay, and we have Jimmy. So listen, not that we have Wingstop, but like we might have like the restaurant next door to them with Jimmy, Caleb, and Depot all playing defense. That's actually pretty exciting in my opinion. Now, my man Timmy, what is your prediction for today's game?
So I actually do have a Heat win just because there's no Kawhi and because we have arrested Jimmy. Like I say, Jimmy off of rest might be a top two wing in the NBA. Quote me on that.
Who's number one?
LeBron James. I'm sorry, the man. Something's in his water. There's
Over Jason Tatum?
With rest, he said.
I mean, the light skinned guy, I guess. You know. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's funny.
Did you see the man did on his birthday at 38 years old?
Oh, unbelievable. But
you're right.
I mean, LeBron's gonna be in conversation in what, 2 days? I believe we play the Lakers again.
Yep, we do by Wednesday, Thursday.
So we will most definitely. Is that also a late game? I don't fully remember.
Of course it is.
You should probably.
It's the LA trip. It's the just how they did the Florida trip. We're doing the LA trip. So yes,
so the Heat are gonna be hanging around Figueroa Street for the next couple days, which is good for them, I guess. I hope hopefully
they go by Wade's house and drink some wine. You know.
Yeah, right. Like go ahead and hang out with Flash. Yeah. Listen, I'm also going for a Heat win tonight. I think what I've seen from Tyler and Bam is obviously very encouraging. And like Timmy said, Jimmy off rest is, I wouldn't say he's a top 2 wing in the NBA just because I don't think Jimmy cares so much about the regular season. But I see where Timmy's going with the vision. He's one hell of a basketball player, especially when he's off rest. One of the best dudes in the league, unquestioned. So I like the Heat's talent advantage tonight, if I'm being completely honest with you, which how many times do we say that? But I think their top 3 is so much better than the other grouping of talent that is on the Clippers, independent of Paul George obviously being amazing in his own right. So I'm rocking on the Heat W. Hopefully we get a Heat win. I know the halftime spaces are going to be hosted by 5 Reasons. I think the post-game spaces, I don't know, TBD. I don't know if anyone's going to be hosting that late, but we'll see. If there is a post-game space, make sure you guys hop in and talk with my guy Ray from Playbook Sports. And any last words, fellas, before we embark on another Miami Heat adventure?
Depot is back.
Another 30 from Bam.
Okay, if Depot's back, Timmy, will he go left?
Not tonight. Maybe against the Lakers.
Okay. Listen, we're getting closer, though. I can't lie. There's moments where he's actually putting the ball down with his left hand, and he's making 1 or 2 moves. He just hasn't gotten all the way to the rim. But I will not be one to scoff at baby steps. So with all that being said, I don't know if we have any post-game pressers stuff to go through or pre-game presser stuff to go through, but if not, go Heat. Let's see if we can get a win to start the new year.
Thanks, y'all, for coming.